Hello everyone, my name is Andre and today we are back with some more Dragon Ball Z Abridged. This episode, it's a special history of Trunks. So, my history didn't with this my history with this special goes very far. I actually have this on VHS. So I used to watch this on VHS. So I know this movie somewhat well. I remember this movie being quite emotional because of the whole mentor relation that Gohan had with Trunks, and I remember, spoiler alert, Gohan's death to be quite emotional and quite heartbreaking in in DBZ. So I'm curious to see what Team 4-Star does with this. I have seen them do this type of emotional scenes well, and I've seen them not doing it as good as I would hoped. So for me, it can be kind of a hit or a miss. We just saw last episode, episode 42, the fusion, which I thought was not as well handled as it could have been. But at the same time, we have the Krillin's death scene, which was handled beautifully. So I'm curious to see how they handle that here, and if it can bring the impact that it had on DBZ. So that's the first thing I'm curious. Also, I'm curious to see this version of the androids, and this is important to note because no matter how bad instead of bad, let's use the word evil, because bad can mean a multitude of things. No matter how evil the androids actually were on the normal saga, Android saga, the future Trunks androids were even worse. So I'm curious to see if there are any personality changes to the androids, or if they are going to use the same personalities they had with the others and maybe just make them a bit more murderous. Regardless of what they choose, I think both options are good. But it's still a curiosity. It's still something I'm curious about. Curiosity, whatever. Yeah, let's begin, shall we? This is quite a big one, so hopefully I don't have to, stop a lot. Oh, I don't know if this is. I'm sorry. But rest in peace.
Hello, my name is Trunks, and this is my story. I was a baby during this part, so the details are a little unclear.
Mom, what happened? Your dad is dead! For good! No! Dead!
I'm told those were my first words.
Son of a bitch!
And those were my second.
But he just got back from his training. After getting back from Namek. After getting back from his training. After being dead. Fly, son.
And with the death of Goku.
He still raises a good point, I know Team 4-Star does this as a joke, but Goku was gone for a long time.
His family and friends were left to mourn. For approximately 6 months.
Hey girl, how you look?
Leaving the fate of the Earth with little hope.
That's nice.
Over the next 13 years, the androids would destroy small town after small town, working their way up. Maybe that's why we reacted the way we did.
And welcome back, folks, to TJ
And the
Wombat.
so horny.
Starting us off this hour with sports, the College
That's so
Basketball
dated.
Association has had to disband entirely.
As most of its players and associate colleges have been destroyed by the cyborgs.
Speaking of which, in cyborg news,
As we currently speak, speak. Paprikaburg is under siege by the mechanical threat.
But on the brighter side, Wombat's getting married.
I just a quick note. The fact that this city survived that long, 13 years after the androids began terrorizing the world, it's quite impressive. You know, you gotta give them credit.
That's right. Unfortunately, my beloved fiance resides in Paprikaburg and is probably most certainly dying as we speak.
It's so
But,
poor.
silver lining, I'm single again.
Oh, behave!
I
I
can't.
miss country.
Mom, do you believe in destiny?
I'm a scientist, so no.
Paprikaburg is only 30 miles from here. If I hurry, I could save someone.
Or you could die like your father.
Why do you say that every time I want to go fight them?
Because you were 13, I'm 37, and I am all alone.
My mother had been 37 for 10 years.
Yes,
no
I
means
thought
no.
so.
End of discussion. Oh, no. Just fly away. That's fine. God bless him.
Hey, 18! You keeping score?
Why would I be doing that?
You said you would.
No, you said, hey, check this shit out, then jumped in a car.
Oh, come on, sis. Is this about the shop earlier?
Oh man, you wouldn't believe this haul. This is why I love these little inner city shops. They always have the best brands. What the hell? Why did you blow it up? They were giving me free clothes.
Didn't give me nothing.
It was a woman's clothing store.
Hey, I'm perfectly secure.
Is that why you dye your hair?
Oh
I
snap!
wasn't sure if I'd be able to do anything at all, but I had to at least try to stop their chaos. Unfortunately, I was too late. Damn it, I'm too late!
I
But
love.
as I walked the ruins of that demolished city, a hero appeared.
Brooding, the hero always broods and mourns. The hero always mourns the death of those who died. I'm trying to embody the hero spirit, you know, of those who have fallen.
The hero of my time, Gohan. And face to face with him, all I could say was, I believe it was profound.
This is that's the only Gohan I respect.
You remember a time before this, Gohan? What was it like?
Well, when I was a toddler, my uncle showed up, kidnapped me, and then Mr. Piccolo killed him and my dad. Then Mr. Piccolo kidnapped me, the Saiyans showed up, killed a bunch of people, including Mr. Piccolo. Then we went to Namek, a bunch more people died, we came back, then my dad died again, then all my friends died, and now everyone else is dying.
But it was better, right?
Sure.
No.
Well, I can help. I'm half Saiyan, just like you.
I've got one, Mr. Piccolo.
What?
I said from now on, you shall be my pupil, and you will call me Mr. Gohan.
Oh, okay. Would you like to stay for dinner, Mr. Gohan?
Mr. Gohan would.
Trunks, are you home? Or should I change my dating profile from single mother to just single? Because one gets more hits. Oh, Gohan. Long time no see.
Bulma.
So, Gohan, you staying the night? We got plenty of room here, but, you know, no extra beds, so we'll have to share. Well, worth a shot. Who's hungry? You wouldn't believe how hard it is to get produce nowadays.
3 times his
Luckily, we have our
age.
own greenhouses. Don't ask me where I get the protein from, though.
Can't talk, eating.
Oh, you are just like your father.
In what regard?
Well, you're strong and brave, and look at you in that gi.
It was the only thing he left me.
Aw, that's sweet.
Over
Sure.
the next few
Let's
weeks,
go with that.
Gohan would begin training me, focusing on making me a Super Saiyan like him. His methods were dodgy.
Doing the good training. He knows. He knows. He knows what's up, you know? Gohan knows what's up. You know, I love this Gohan. I love this Gohan.
Help me, Mr. Gohan!
Fly up!
The whirlpool's too strong. I can't swim.
I said fly up!
Maybe I can build a raft.
I love this. I love the parallel between his training and Piccolo's training.
Here, clean yourself up.
Oh man.
You know, if you think I'm rough, you should have trained with Mr. Piccolo.
You really looked up to him, didn't you?
Yeah, he was like the father I never had.
You know, speaking of dads, Mom never talks about mine. You knew him, right? What was he like?
So what? You think having a dad who's a Super Saiyan makes you better than me?
No!
Wrong answer!
He had a lot to prove.
Gohan would never talk much about his family. Apparently, his mother and grandfather lived alone in the woods.
I'm home, and I've got groceries. How are you doing, sweetheart?
I should be a grandmother, you know.
Oh.
I should be a grandmother with a Nobel Prize winning son. But what am I? A widow. With a son who never talks to me and is possibly dead.
You,
So I'm just gonna sit here and knit this baby sweater.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
is dinner happening?
Will dinner bring my husband back?
Maybe?
Gohan
Well,
would
I've
continue
seen.
pushing me harder and harder.
Well, food does move Goku more than anything else, except fighting. You know, it's fighting, food, whatever else it is in Goku's life.
Day and night to become a Super Saiyan.
That's it. Look at him, Mr. Piccolo. He's almost ready. What do you think?
I think the only real training you'll ever get in this world is on the battlefield.
You're right.
The next day,
So
the
Gohan is
cyborgs
crazy
would
as
attack
well. That's good to know.
Superworld.
Hello and welcome to
Super World.
Slogan
How could you,
pending.
you
Please stay
monsters?
behind the line.
Huh?
They have VIP.
Excuse me, you two. You can't cut the line.
Do you not know who we are?
If you'd like to get on the rides faster, we do have a Fastpass system that's only 7,900 Zen.
This is why I hate theme parks.
I haven't heard this in years.
Yeah, you know, when you can fly, these rides don't really seem that fun.
Well, if you're already bored,
guess
why
you're
not
right.
try taking a ride on my fist?
Wow.
Oh, damn.
You, want a minute to rephrase that
yeah,
there, Chief?
phrasing.
Nope. I'd rather take that minute to kick your ass.
Okay, now see? That's better.
Now,
Yes.
Trunks, I want you to just sit back and spectate. Unless they team up on me, in which case, jump in.
I can't help but feel like I'm woefully unprepared for this.
And that's exactly what we prepared for.
This would be my first real battle, and I've never seen anyone fight so fiercely. Gohan had always told me stories about the fights of the past, but those had a lot more screaming and posturing. But as soon as Gohan
They
gave me
do.
a hand,
Damn, he's pissed today.
You think it's his time of the month?
It's funny because you're a chick.
Gohan!
Damn.
I can't believe you brought a kid to a battle. Super irresponsible.
she
It
wasn't
is.
wrong.
I'm not afraid of you. I can take care of you myself.
I, however, was.
Now what do you think?
You hit like a girl.
Well, you're not wrong.
Shit, 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 shit.
Oh, no, you don't.
Well, shit. Think he got away?
I don't know. We can't sense life energy.
Seriously, what was the point of not giving us that ability? Seems
I don't
like
know.
an intentional design flaw, if you ask me.
Oh well. Scorched earth.
It's
Scorched
true.
earth.
Ah, crap baskets. Everything's in pain. Everything but my left arm. Oh, man. Too bad I'm not a Namekian. Be really handy right about now. But I'll just settle on the next best thing and use the senzu beans. Bean. Singular. Well, that's disappointing.
It is.
Looking for male, mid to late 30s, black spiky hair, not too tall, loves to work out.
Hey, Mom,
What is it, Trunk? Oh my god!
what do you know about reattaching arms that I can't find?
Oh, sweetie.
Well, she could probably build a bionicle arm, couldn't she? Let's be honest. Jerome is not smarter than Bulma. Bulma is like the biggest genius in Dragon Ball universe. So I'm 100% sure if she wanted, she could build an arm to help out against the fight against the androids. I was about to say Namekians. I'm 100% sure she could do that. Now, arguably here, she doesn't have the same resources that she has in the past. She probably is not rich anymore, and resources are probably way more scarce because of the androids, but still, I'm 100% sure that before all hell broke loose, she could have done something to help out.
So, have you learned anything today?
The only good cyborg is a dead cyborg?
You really are your father's son.
Now stronger and more motivated than ever. I was back to training as soon as Gohan was able again. Though I think he was still a little sore.
Come on, Trunks! Just imagine losing someone or something close to you. Like your arm! Because trust me, that really friggin' sucks! Alright, take 5.
Unfortunately, I wouldn't transform in time. So, Gohan, do you usually hang out in wastelands?
What do you mean? This is where I live.
Oh, it's nice.
I think you're really close, you know? You just need something to push you over the edge.
Well, you always tell me to use the pain of loss. But I've never really lost anyone.
For me, it's my greatest source of anger. I just think about losing Krillin or Mr. Piccolo.
Or your dad?
Yeah, sure. And then it just builds up inside until finally, it explodes.
Like that?
Yeah, like that, only metaphorically.
The cyborgs! Mr. Gohan, we have to go!
No, Trunks. You stay here this time. We both know you're not ready.
Mr. Gohan, you only have one arm! What can you do with one arm?
You know what? You're right. What can I do with only one arm?
Thank you, Mr. Gohan! I will not let you down!
That.
I remember
I can do that with one arm. Now, what can I do to the cyborgs with one arm?
Use the Makanko Sapo.
You never taught me that.
Use it.
You know what? I'm bored.
Well, we could find another city.
No, I mean, like, bored of this whole great destroyer shtick, you know? Destroying things, killing people. It's just boring.
Yeah, it's kind of lost its luster. After you wipe an entire genre of music off the face of the earth, what's left?
Exactly.
You know what I always wanted to do? Like, since before all this? Be a park ranger.
You want to range a park?
Hell yeah! Living outdoors, communicating with nature, shooting poachers.
Character-wise,
I
you know.
think I'm gonna do that.
You goddamn cheap son of a bitch!
He slapped your shit!
Okay, you know what? That's it. I'm killing every human. Every one. Then I'm gonna range the shit out of that park.
Neither of you are leaving here alive. I'm stronger than I was before.
Yeah, also lighter. Looks like you dropped some weight since last time.
Shit.
5, 10 pounds? I don't know. How much does an arm weigh?
Gotta hand it to you, though. Pretty ballsy coming after us all asymmetrical like that. But four
Shit.
hands are better than one. Long story
Yeah,
short,
Attention Hunt thought the same
you're
thing.
gonna die.
No, this isn't where my story ends.
This is where Gohan's story ends.
I love that they are like, before we watch Gohan's story ending, I like that they are like using this classic narration. I don't know what movies do this, but it's like old. It's a very old thing. You know, the whole like for comedic purposes, you have the narration contradicting a statement that the character is doing. So this is something that has been done a lot of times, but for some reason here it works so beautifully. And it's fun to see that each movie has kind of its own identity. Yeah, I don't know if you understand what I mean, but each movie kind of has its own feeling. It's different enough, you know, in its own way.
Well, this is it, Mr. Piccolo. But at least we still have Trunks. I trained him just like you wanted.
You know I'm not actually here, right?
Oh. Crap baskets.
Down! Huh? Oh no.
This is such a cliche. It starts raining after, you know, something bad happens. It's more dramatic, that's why people use it, you know.
Gohan! Gohan! Gohan!
I like that. Nice. Good job. Nice. Nice. So, I have a couple of things to say about that scene. It's okay. And the reason why it's only okay, it's because of Gohan's death. The whole Trunks finding out, I think it's pretty well done. Personally, I think they treated it right. But the death of Gohan, however, which is... let's see if I can explain this in a way that you guys can understand this. So, Gohan's death, it's the event that leads to this emotional scene in which in which Trunks becomes a Super Saiyan. The death itself, the event that, you know, creates that, it's as important as the event itself. So you have the emotional scene with Trunks, you know, Trunks finding out. I think that, you know, Trunks seeing Gohan fight, if I'm not mistaken, the fight, and I'm gonna go back just to check that out with you guys. Like the scenes are scenes of Gohan without his arms, so it's scenes that we never got to see here. In the movie we probably saw them, but we never got to see here. But the thing that doesn't really work is him seeing those things or remembering those things. And now, yeah. So you see, guys, all of this flashbacky scenes are of Gohan without his arm. Now, again, I always say this so that you guys remember. I don't recall how it was on the History of Trunks episode. But in Abridged, it's clear that Gohan knocked Trunks out. So, this this image of Trunks kind of having this flashback of Gohan fighting and dying doesn't work. Now, you could say that this is imagination of what happened while he was out. There's no indication for that because these are scenes that we, in the movie I imagine at the very least, these are scenes that we saw. So anyone watching would immediately think that's a memory. But it doesn't make sense because Trunks wasn't there to watch it. So that's mistake number one. I think that for this scene in particular, the first mistake is the flashback. I think the flashback cuts the emotional aspect of it. I even think that the music is unnecessary, personally. I think they should have cut the music, cut the flashbacks, and just have Gohan walking. And you have the rain. You have I keep calling him Gohan, but it's Trunks. You know, you have the rain. You have Trunks. You have the color palette, which is blue. It's sad. It's gray. It's dark. It works perfectly. Even the whole character of Trunks is darker. It's less saturated. So it kind of works with the scenery that he's in. So imagine the scene without the music, without the flashbacks, him walking, seeing Gohan, and we just hear the scream, the rage, because he is seeing the mentor, the kind of a father figure he never had, dying in front of his own eyes. Personally, I think that's how they should have done this, how this scene would be elevated and more emotional. But again, to do that, you know, obviously this is 25 minutes long. You can't make a masterpiece out of this. I understand that. But to make that, at the very least, the scene of Gohan needed to be more. The fight was small, and there wasn't a lot of emotion in it. You know, there wasn't like Trunks or even a thought of Trunks. There wasn't even. He had that conversation with fake Piccolo, but you know, there wasn't really much on that area. And then it went by so fast that it didn't really give us a moment to see the struggle. You know, if you see the character struggle and then die, you feel worse for the character. And by feeling worse for the character that died, it's easier for you to relate to Trunks. And the important thing here is to be able to relate yourself with Trunks so that you can also feel what Trunks is feeling. Because to anyone watching, this Gohan is a stranger. You don't know this Gohan because it's not the same Gohan you meet on Dragon Ball Z. It's an older, more experienced, changed Gohan, which was changed by the Android war, right? So this Gohan is a different person, so you don't really know this character, and he comes and goes really fast. If you see the struggle, if you see the guy struggle a bit more, like I said, we do see that, but we don't see enough of it. You know, the fight ends too fast. There's not enough beatdown. There's not enough struggle of Gohan fighting against those two. And there's not even a ray of hope, like a moment where you think maybe he can win, which could improve the situation and make his death even more impactful. So in here, the things that I would correct personally are I would extend the fight scene with the androids, Gohan's fight with the androids, make it bigger, try to give a moment of hope, then so that that hope is crushed, make the spectator feel a bit down already, and by doing that, making him more susceptible to relate himself with Trunks, then have the scene with Trunks, no flashbacks, no music, him walking, finding the body, having the emotional reaction he had here, which I think it's brilliant. They chose the right scenes, they did the right editing here. Do this, end with this, because I thought this was brilliant. This is him, expelling his frustration, his sadness, his anger, his rage. This represents Trunks' wrath, basically. I think this is a good visual representation of that. I think the scene is important. So I'll keep this more or less as it is with a couple of changes, but for me what's important is really the depth, that it's not impactful enough and sad enough. Now, again, I understand this is a comedy show. I haven't forgotten that, and I do understand that they don't want to make like this whole scene just the emotional scene, because that's the movie. But I do think they could have done it better and achieved an even greater result. However, I will say that it's not bad by any means. It's fairly decent, in my opinion, and I think that the emotion that wants to the emotion that wants people to feel, I think it transfers it. I think people by seeing this would feel a bit of this anger and a bit of the sadness, a bit of the frustration. So I don't think it's a loss by any means. I think it's done nicely. I just think that it could have been done better. So that's 3 years later.
Alright, Mom. I got the rest of the supplies for the time machine. It's too bad Grandpa isn't here to help you build it.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's still off searching the cosmos for new Namek.
By God! Is that it? After all this? God damn it all!
So until your grandpa returns, just me.
Hello! This is an emergency broadcast from Humanopolis! The cyborgs are attacking, and they are sparing no one! No one is safe!
That's close to here.
Trunks, I know what you're thinking, but let me just finish the time machine.
We don't have time for that!
That's what the machine is for!
Listen, I'm stronger now.
Fair enough.
I'm a Super Saiyan.
So was Gohan, and look how that turned out.
Oh, so
Well,
now
that's
you're
fair
just
enough.
replacing Dad with Gohan?
Trust me, I tried!
I'm going now.
Be safe.
And so, armed with the sword given to me by Tapion, which is a whole other story.
Yeah, let's not even go there, okay? Because that sword, it's one of the biggest plot holes in Dragon Ball Z history.
I raced off to fight the cyborgs. One last time.
We all wrapped up then?
Yep, looks like we're out of people to kill here.
Why don't you try me?
Wait, did you just ask us to kill you?
No, as in fight me.
I'm sorry, do we know you?
Yes! You murdered my master!
Oh wait, hold on. I don't care.
Fair enough.
To this day, I'm still not sure why I did what I did. Maybe it was grief. Maybe it was puberty. Maybe I just had something to prove. A young, half-blood Super Saiyan, armed with nothing but a sword in his guts. Unfortunately, half human and half Saiyan might just be analogous to half brave and half stupid. I did it!
Yeah, of course you did.
Doesn't he kind of remind you of you-know-who?
Now that you mention it, I do see the resemblance. But unlike good old Righty, he's still got both arms.
Yeah, but not for long.
Oh, crap.
I love that.
You lost,
That's
little
really
boy.
well done. That was a really cool flying move. Where are the pedals, bro?
Hey, Sunshine. Cough if you're still alive.
Good boy.
Why? Why are you doing this?
The question isn't why, kid. It's why not.
I mean, who's going to stop us?
Not those guys 17 years ago.
Not all one arm.
And certainly not you.
You?
I guess theirs is just nobody can stop us. So.
This is hilarious.
Yeah. Although now it's kind of annoying. Now it's sad. And now it's annoying again.
Wait a sec. This kid look familiar to you, sis?
Yeah. He was at the amusement park with Stumpy.
Aw, who's a little survivor? You are, yes you are. Let's fix that, shall we?
Dibs!
Sis, get out of
The fuck?
Did you just friggin' blast me?
You stepped in front of it. What is wrong with you?
That's it. We're leaving.
Oh, come on.
I still have no idea how I survived.
Wait, how did he survive? Now I'm curious. I don't remember.
Trunks, sweetie? You waking up?
Mom? Am I alive? How long was I out?
Well, I finished the time machine.
Oh. Is that long?
Yeah. Which means you got two options. You take another swing at the cyborgs, or you use the time machine to go save Goku.
I want to save Goku.
Trunks?
I want to save Goku.
Good boy.
After recovering a few months, I was finally ready.
Aw, my jacket looks so good on you. All the girls in the past are just gonna love it.
Thanks, Mom. So this is it? I can't believe I finally get to meet history's greatest hero.
Yeah, Goku might not be exactly how you think, so do temper your expectations.
And Dad!
The butt.
I finally get to meet Dad!
Oh shit,
Okay.
you do. I mean, just be yourself, sweetie, and everything will turn out okay.
All right, Mom. I'm off.
Yeah,
Next time
right.
you see me, this'll be a cyborg-free world.
Yep. Unless this actually operates on multiverse theory, in which case...
Can't hear you, Mom. Time machine!
Bye, sweetie! And multiverse theory it is. Shit.
Fair enough. Yeah, it was a good movie. I liked it. I liked it. Yeah, besides the thing I said about the Gohan death, I think it's a fine movie. I think it's great. Really funny. The thing why I talked about that, and I think it's important, is that it's such an important moment of the movie, you know. So there's a bigger need, in my opinion, to make it look more and make it feel more important in Abridged as well. But I'm not bothered by the fact that it didn't have as big of a spotlight as I had hoped. Again, like I've said, everything I had to say about this I've said a couple of minutes ago, so it's pointless to continue.
All right, they haven't been back in 2 days.
I can't believe they took my house.
I'm going in for a food run. All that's left is the Spam and the pork rinds.
We both knew this day would come, Oolong!
I have long since made peace with this. I'm just glad we're still alive.
All thanks to my submarine, the USS Medic. Speaking of which,
Oh no.
I've been meaning to ask.
Knew it, I frickin' knew it.
How does it feel riding my dick?
17 years! 17 years you've been holding on to that one.
You don't know the patience I have. Didn't answer my question either.
It's tight and damp.
We're gonna die in here!
Of course. Yeah. Yeah, no, I think I'm gonna leave it up here. guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, please make sure to like and subscribe. Subscribe button is here. Here is the playlist for DBZA, and here is a Minecraft Let's Play that I've been doing. Hope you guys enjoy it. Please do check that out as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye!